Do you ever feel like you're searching for answers, but you're not getting clear guidance from your higher self or from the universe? And why do we sometimes struggle to get the answers and the support we need? If we are spiritual beings and we are supported, then why do we struggle sometimes? Sometimes we get in our own way, and it takes only a few little tweaks to open up a loving and flowing communication with the higher divine aspect of ourselves and of life. And I remember times when I was so desperately wanting clear guidance to help me in my life. And looking back, I can see all the ways that I was blocking myself from being able to receive answers, and I didn't even realize it was happening. So I've learned a lot about connecting with divine guidance and getting answers from life, about life, from the spiritual realm over approximately 15 years since my original spiritual awakening. And I've been coaching people for well over a decade to tune into theirs. So in this video, I've got you covered. I'm going to show you practical ways that you can receive insights from what I call your soul, maybe you call your higher self, from universe, God, divinity, with more ease. Okay, here's what we're going to learn today. First of all, we're going to talk about some calming foundations to know before asking for divine guidance that will support you to have more trust and faith. We're going to talk about preparing you to connect with the frequency of divine guidance, so we'll set you up for success with that. I'm going to talk about the types of questions that you can ask and how to ask, as well as 8 different ways that you can ask for and tune in to receive divine guidance coming to you. We'll talk about common questions and struggles that people have with getting answers and solutions for how to stay more consistently in the flow and connection for getting answers more naturally in your daily life. So stick with me, and by the end you'll have some clear techniques to access wisdom that's already inside of you and is actually already all around you. So before we dive in to the practical steps, I want to start with discussing the core foundations that will set you up for receiving divine guidance more effortlessly. So these foundations are: know this, every question that you have right now already has an answer. Every problem that you have, a solution already exists. Every goal that you have, there is already a pathway to it. And we need to let go of control and trust in divine order and timing, that answers can come to us actually quite unexpectedly if we just loosen up a little bit. Most people that are looking for answers with a little bit of a white-knuckled grip and a little bit of urgency and impatience and wondering why it's not showing up. That frequency of your energy, that vibration doesn't match the answers you want, the solutions and the pathways. It's not a frequency match. So you, in your consciousness, create blocks to even be able to receive the answers coming into your radar. So we're just going to create a shift. Even just understanding these things I've shared with you is starting to create a shift. Now, sometimes people think, well, oh gosh, like I am really up in my mind and I am really impatient and this isn't going to work for me. Let me assure you of this. You cannot mess this up, even if you are a hot mess, because Source, Divinity, Creator, the universe, and your soulful self are absolutely able to reach you no matter where you're at. Even if you were in a dark, dark hole and in a terrible place psychologically and emotionally, they're going to reach you. Source runs all of creation. It can definitely figure out how to get a message to you, okay? There's nothing you can do that's going to block you or stop your life. I'm just going to help you make it a lot more free-flowing. So we want to stop chasing answers. I know that's hard when you really want an answer, but we want to just loosen up. Just think of your grip like this. Turn your hand over and open up your palm. You are going to allow wisdom to come to you. You do not need to go out and try to get it, okay? The other thing to know as a foundation is we don't get to dictate when the wisdom comes to us, when the answers come, or how. And sometimes you might even find yourself saying this. I've heard myself saying it. You might think, well, the universe doesn't understand. I need to know this now. Oh, the universe understands just fine. It's running all of creation right now, so it's got it covered. Don't be attached. let go of your urgency, breathe. Just take a breath with me right now. Just breathe into your belly. You can relax. Now, before we go further, I want you to reflect on this. Do you remember in your life so far one time when you got an answer or some kind of guidance and it was like divine guidance? Maybe it was a dream, maybe it was an intuitive nudge. Something happened and you felt like you were being guided. Why do we need to remember this? Because when you remember times that you felt supported, felt guided, and felt heard, it helps you to relax and trust. And your whole system will remember, in the cells of your body and in the memory center in your brain, will remember what that time felt like, and it knows then how to relax and let go. It has a reference point for the fact that you're saying, I need to relax and trust. It can go, oh, there was that time, that happened. Oh, yes, I can relax and trust. So drop me a comment below the video and let me know, was there a time like that for you? What was it? What was your situation? And what kind of guidance did you get? It's really helpful when you share to bring that memory back up to the forefront and just continue to condition yourself to relax and allow. So now that we understand some foundations, let's explore how to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and energetically to become a receiver and an open channel for divine wisdom, because you're an energy being, you're an energy center, and you're a little bit like a radio tower. You can send out signals and you can receive in signals, okay? And we need our radio tower, our frequency, to be open if we want to be connected with this kind of wisdom. Think about it also like, another analogy is your consciousness is like our radar system. If you don't have your radar turned on, and it's not clean, how's it going to pick up on the signals coming in? So we clean up and we open up by doing a simple few things. The first is understand the importance of inner coherence, which is calm and clarity. When we have a starting place of inner coherence and calm, we are setting ourselves up for success. Because when you're calm internally and you're regulated, your emotional system is regulated, your mind is calm, you are receptive and present to receive wisdom. I mean, just think about conversation with other people. If you're not present and calm, you don't even hear what people are saying. You're in your mind, you're distracted. It's no different if someone's trying to tell you something in person as to if your soul's trying to tell you something. When you're not calm, when you're dysregulated inside, everything is just a little bit off kilter, and often we're quite contracted, we're quite shut down, okay? It's not difficult to shift it. So when we talk about inner calm and coherence, what we're talking about is a relaxation response internally in our physiology, a regulated nervous system. The opposite of that is fight, flight, stress response, where we're dysregulated, where our brain and body are not interested in receiving divine guidance because we're just trying to cope. We're just trying to cope with life. So we're going to drop out of that and come into a different kind of state where you can be more receptive. To do that, I'm going to suggest to you 4 practices that will instantly help create openness and connection. The first is conscious breathing. You can do what's called belly breathing, which is diaphragmatic breathing. You want to do it slow. You want to do it rhythmically, and you're going to do it in and out your nose. And that, when you do that kind of breathing technique, it signals safety to your brain and body, and it creates a state of inner calm. So in your own time, you can do that. You can pause the video now if you want, and just come into this gentle belly breathing to generate calm. The second technique to help you create this inner coherence and calm is tapping. Meridian point stimulation, also known as EFT, emotional freedom techniques, helps you to discharge excess energy, built up emotions, stress, fear, anxiety, and tension, sending calming signals through your brain and your body to help you come into a relaxation response. If you're not familiar with that, you can check out other videos on my channel to learn how to do that. Now, the third way that we can create inner coherence and calm is to focus on gratitude. Because when you focus on something you love and you're grateful for, and you feel even gratitude in advance for getting the answers that are coming to you, then in that good feeling state, something happens. Your heart, where all of your divine intelligence is, it opens. Your heart chakra opens, and your energy frequency immediately shifts. If you want to know a one-time all remedy to shift your frequency, it's to instantly practice gratitude, and your frequency will lift, and you will become much more receptive for divine wisdom from around you, as well as intuition from within you. Okay? And then the fourth technique for creating inner calm and coherence is very simple. Talk to yourself lovingly. Because you will not be open and you will not be receptive if inside your world you are living in toxic negative talk 24/7. It's like being inside a room stuck with a really negative, horrible person 24/7. It doesn't feel good. And inside that room of your mind, you are with yourself 24/7. And if you are talking to yourself unlovingly, you're going to shut down. It's human nature. So, really simple remedy, say loving things to yourself. Say things like, everything's okay. I'm okay. Everything I need is here for me. I'm safe. I'm heard. I trust. And it will signal to all the parts of your body, every cell of your body, that it's okay, and you'll relax a little bit. And when you relax, you open. And when you open, you're more receptive. Okay? I'm actually going to take you through now. Why don't we do something now? I'm going to take you through like a 2-minute practice, and I'm going to combine all 4 of those things for you. So you don't have to do many things. Let's just do them all at once. Just 2 minutes. It's going to shift your energy right now. We're going to bring in breathing, tapping, gratitude, and loving self-talk. So let's do it. I want you to just get in a comfortable position and just take a deep breath. Breathe into your belly. Everything's okay. Breathe out. I can relax. Breathe into your belly. There's so many things I'm grateful for in my life. Breathe out and just relax. Breathe into your belly. I'm grateful for the answers that are coming to me. And breathe out. Relax. Breathe into your belly. Breathe out. Relax. And just tap with me on the side of the hand here. I really want to get answers. And maybe I've been a little bit impatient. And that's okay. I choose to relax now. And even though I really want to get answers, and I've been trying to figure it out, I can just relax and let the answers come. And even though maybe I've been feeling tense, I choose to relax now. And then tap on the inside of the eye here and just repeat after me. It's okay for me to relax now. Outside of the eye, everything's okay. Under the eye, I love myself. Under the nose, I'm open to receive answers. On the chin, I trust they will come when it's right. On the chest, just breathe into your belly. Breathe out, relax. Under the arm, I'm so grateful for the answers that are coming to me. Top of the head, all is well. And then just relax your arm. Take a breath. And just recognize we did diaphragmatic breathing, we did tapping, we did self-love, and we did gratitude, and it took us 2 minutes. And you have shifted your energy, and you have absolutely, if you just did that with me, you have lifted your frequency to be more aligned to the frequency of receptivity for divine guidance. So well done you. Now, let's move forward. How do you ask the right types of questions? Well, there's no rules about this, but I'm just going to give you some tips. Ask from a place of curiosity and openness, not control. Be open and curious. It's also really good to ask open-ended questions. So rather than, when is this going to get resolved? Or why is this happening to me? Or, why am I not getting what I want? You can ask questions like, what is this teaching me? How is this situation in my life helping me? Or a great one is, what does my soul or source want me to know about this right now? And it's absolutely okay to ask closed questions that have a yes or no answer, particularly with some of the methods that I'm going to give you later in the video. But really consider asking the open questions like, what is in my highest good to know right now about my health, my relationships, my career? Or please guide me in my decision about my job, relationship, or career. So you're not saying what you're trying to get, you're just opening and letting whatever is highest good come to you. Do you trust your soul? Do you trust in source? If you ask an open question like that, you will absolutely get the highest good response that you need to know right now. You can ask questions like this or make statements like this. Please guide me toward the person, place, or situation that will most help me to learn and heal and grow and live my purpose right now. Ask questions that focus on receiving wisdom that will help you see things differently. And the reason I say that is because sometimes we ask questions because we want to justify something we're already fixated on or something we've already made up our mind about. So you go in asking for divine guidance, but you've already set a focus and you already know what you want to hear, and you're just wanting them to verify and justify back to you your own standpoint. And that's okay if you want to do that. But also you can say, I would love to hear any extra wisdom that might help me see this even more clearly. What would help me to be in my highest good? Ideally also you want to ask one thing at a time, and here's why. If you go in and ask for divine guidance and you ask 100 questions and you get an answer, how do you know what your answer is to? It's no different than if you asked me 100 questions at one go and I gave you an answer. You might be confused about what it related to. I encourage you also to notice where it might be your ego, your mind, and your fears that are asking, and you're not really open. So, for example, rather than pray to get the job that you want, pray to be guided to the best job for you. Rather than ask for life to guide you to make sure that you get to be with the person you want to be with, how about ask to be guided to the best possible relationship for you so that everybody is in the most loving, highest good? And so we ask to see the truth, ask to be shown the truth. And sometimes it's uncomfortable because a part of us says, I don't want to know the truth, I just want what I want. But I'll tell you this, the truth will set you free. And if you're courageous enough to ask for divine guidance to show you the truth will open up your life in a whole new way. So with all of that said, now that you know how to ask, let's look at 8 different ways that divine guidance can come to you. It's like the energy circuitry or the channels or the methods that it can reach you. And you can use any of these at any time. Just notice what resonates with you, what intrigues you. I've used all 8 ways and I've had guidance come to me via all of these methods. Okay, so they're all really effective and awesome. The first one is ask to be guided during the night. There is a very specific reason for this. You can ask to be guided in a dream, or you can ask for divine guidance to rouse you out of sleep in the middle of the night and to give you an answer into your awareness. The reason this is really effective is that during your waking days, you are in a very high brainwave. You are in your beta brainwave, and you are in your front thinking mind, your overactive, overanalytical, busy mind. When you start to go to sleep, you drop down from beta, alpha, theta, you go into a deeper brainwave, and in that state, you are very receptive to wisdom and information that is not of your thinking mind. Now, often, I don't know if you've noticed this, but sometimes we get woken and roused between 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. and you're not consciously awake, but you're kind of stirring in bed. And what's happening is you become aware of dreams, you become aware of words in your mind. Sometimes you might actually be getting downloads. And it's because if something needs to come into your awareness, you will get stirred. And it can be beautiful to have a journal next to your bed so you can write down what you're noticing. But I now use this as a practice. Before I will go to bed, I love nighttime because it's so magical for getting guidance. I will ask as I lay down to go to sleep, please give me guidance about, and I will say what I want to get guidance about. Now, you might be thinking, who are we asking? Well, you're asking your soul, you're asking source, and you just need to know you've got an unseen spiritual team, and it doesn't really matter who brings the guidance in. It's coming from the same loving source. So you can call in angels, you can call in spirit guides, you can call in different ascended masters or deities, whatever it is for your religion or faith, we honor it all. But whatever you ask, just know that you're asking it with loving openness, and you're going to receive what is highest good for you. There is one other practice for asking during the middle of the night, and I'm going to share it with you. My husband is in the room while we're recording this video, and I asked for permission to share this example because it's really beautiful about how powerful divine wisdom is for making a big difference in your practical life. Okay, so at the time, I was having a real pain point with my beautiful husband, and we were having a challenge. And before bed one night, I called in his soul. And I just did it like this, just like having this conversation. I said, please come to me and please tell me what I need to know in order to pave the way for a holy union with this person that I love. Because I'm trying and I'm not getting it, and I'm trying to fix things and I can't fix it. And in the middle of the night, probably around 3 a.m., I got woken up like that, bolt upright, and I heard one clear word. And the word was capitulate. Now, you know it's divine guidance when you don't even know what a word is and you have to look it up in the dictionary. So I looked it up in the dictionary, and it means stop resisting your opponent. Stop resisting. Lay down your arms and surrender. Now, my mind at the time was like, I need to fight for this. I need to try to fix this. I need to try to do things. And it was making it worse. And when I took on board this divine guidance, in retrospect, I can tell you that that shift in my approach, my energy, my perspective is absolutely what paved the way for healing and wholeness and unity and love to come back into that relationship. So if you're having a problem with your boss, with your partner, with your children, with a friend, before you go to bed at night, call in their higher self, their soul, and say, what is it that I need to know that will help me to have a peaceful and loving relationship, or whatever it is that you want out of that. So let me know in the comments below, have you ever stirred in the night and noticed that you're getting some kind of divine guidance come in, a dream, a vision, a word, anything? So exciting. And as I read that, I'm inspired by your divine guidance, and other people will read it too. And it just helps us all to awaken to the ways that we're being guided. Okay, the second way that you can welcome in divine guidance, you might have done this with me before because I do this very often. It's called heart-focused inquiry. It's where you come out of your mind and you drop your awareness into your heart. Your heart is a very powerful energetic center in your body, and it's like the portal to the spiritual dimension for you. So when we put our attention on it, it alivens the circuitry of your heart. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Where your energy flows, something grows. So I want you to think about using this in your daily life. What you do is you breathe with your heart. You can do this 4 or 5 times, breathing with your heart. All you do is just breathe in with your heart, breathe out with your heart. You do that 4 or 5 times to get centered. And then what you do is you just tap on your heart a few times, literally with your hand, like you're knocking on the door of your soul, and you ask a question. And then you just sit with your eyes closed and you just listen. You are only responsible for one thing, and that is making space. What happens in that space, you don't get to dictate or control. Why I say that is you might notice something, you might hear something. Alternatively, you might just make space, and then later, at an unexpected moment, because you made space, divine wisdom comes in when you least expect it. Okay, so that's heart-focused inquiry. Now, if you want to, you can take more time, you can pause the vid and you can go through that on your own now. But we're going to talk about way number 3, very simple, meditation. Whatever meditation form you like. People are like, how do I meditate? However you want. Lay down, sit up, do deep breathing, listen to a guided meditation. There isn't some special way that you have to meditate. Do whatever feels good to you. I'm going to tell you what I do. If I want to get divine guidance and I want to do a meditation, I will simply sit, I will close my eyes. Now, here's a little thing that I do. You don't have to do this, but I roll my eyes up underneath my eyelids to the crown of my head. And I hold it there while I take a few small breaths, okay, to calm myself and come within. Now, when you roll your eyes back like that, it helps to start to shift your brain waves. And it creates a quicker shift into relaxation and meditative state. And for a very long time, for over 10 years, whenever I do energy healing, whenever I bring in channeled wisdom, whenever I connect in for divine guidance, I do that and it shifts my frequency. There's something about it that's just been very, very powerful for me. It may vibe with you, it may not, okay? So again, you're just closing your eyes, rolling your eyeballs up towards the crown of your head, taking a few breaths. And then you relax. And now ask your question. And then you sit in meditation for as long as you want. And there's no rules. Do I do it 5 minutes, 10 minutes? Whatever vibes for you. And all you're doing is creating what? Space. Space on the radar to have wisdom float in, and you will notice it because you made space to notice it. What are you doing? You're opening up your radio tower to receive the signals, but the signals may not come during meditation. Meditation creates stillness and space, and then you might be having a shower and shampooing your hair, and boom, the answer comes because you made space. Okay? So trust that clarity will arise in divine time and divine order. Now, way number 4 is really cool. I'm not going to do it with you right now. It's a whole nother tutorial on its own, but it is called muscle testing. It's also known as applied kinesiology, okay? It's where your body, we can test your body to give us answers, to give us yes and no answers. Now, why is it that your body can give you divine wisdom? Well, here's why. What is poured into your body right now? And the answer is life force, divine energy. And what is that life force, divine energy connected to? Everything, everywhere, everyone. So if you want an answer from the field of divine consciousness, know it's inside your body, and we can test your body to get answers. It's really, really powerful. So there are multiple types of muscle testing that you can do. I learned these when I was doing energy healing techniques like theta healing and Psych K and other forms of psychological and emotional healing techniques that I use in coaching. I will often do muscle testing for myself, and sometimes I'll do muscle testing for clients. So there are 3 main ways that I've used in the past. I want you to, if you're curious about this, just make a note of it and then go off and explore it on your own. There'll be plenty of resources online where you can learn this. The first one is called the sway test, where you simply stand and you ask yourself a yes or no question. Your body will actually gently sway in one direction to give you a yes and sway in the other direction to give you a no. Okay, that's one way. Another way is where we test the strength of our arm. When we get a strong response from our muscle testing, when we do the arm test, we ask a question and we get a strong response, that is a yes. When we test our strength in our arm and we ask a question and it's false, we will get a weakened response from our body. And the last muscle testing is this one. When we do this exercise and we pull and we create a ring in our finger like this and then we pull, if we are getting a yes and we're getting a strong response, that's an affirmative. If we test like this, we make a statement or we ask a question and it's weak, that's a no. Now, it takes a little practice to get used to this, to learn what your yes and no feels like as the sway test, or what a yes or no feels like in the arm test or in the fingers test, okay? But what happens is you develop a baseline to understand what is my yes and what is my no. And then you're able to go to that and utilize it when you want to ask your body for wisdom about this, okay? The next way that we can access divine guidance is a little bit similar to this, okay? And it's actually via using what's called a pendulum, okay? It's another way to get a yes or no answer based on energy. So what is a pendulum? A pendulum is an object that you suspend from a chain, and it can swing back and forth under the influence of gravity. So people often have crystals as pendulums. I have a bone carving actually, a beautiful pendant that my sister gave me, and it's in the perfect shape like a pendulum, so I use that. And if you want to get a pendulum, you'll find them in crystal shops, you can find them online. Now what we do with our pendulum is when we hold our pendulum, why is it that a pendulum could give us an answer with divine wisdom? Well, much like muscle testing, what is in your energy field? What alivens your own energy field? The answer is divine intelligence, life force energy, okay? And so when you ask your pendulum a question, your pendulum will begin to move. And you can become familiar with what is a yes and what is a no, okay? When I use my pendulum, if I ask it a question, I know, because I've been using it for so many years, that a yes is a swing left to right, and a no is a swing forward and backward. The trick when you're using a pendulum, if you've struggled to use it or you haven't done it before, is this. You have to start by getting a baseline. So you simply do this. You say, pendulum, show me yes. And watch what it does. It's really spooky and cool, super magical. Watch what it does. It'll slowly start moving, and it might move this way or this way, and it's showing you that's yes. Then you can say, pendulum, show me no, and the pendulum will begin moving in a different direction. You can say, I could say to my pendulum, my name is Bernadette, and it will swing. It'll swing left and right because that's a yes. If I say my name is John, that's obviously not true, and the energy of life force knows that. The pendulum will swing back and forth because that's my symbol for my pendulum for a no. And then you can come and ask questions that you want answers to. And you can utilize your pendulum in this way. Now, here's the thing. Muscle testing and pendulums can give you yes and no answers. They cannot give you nuanced wisdom. And that's why they're useful in certain circumstances and not other circumstances. Okay, we've got a few more ways that you can reach guidance. Way number 6 is surrender your path to a higher loving consciousness. Now, if you are spiritual or you are religious, this will be your vibe, okay? If you're not so much, then that's okay. But think about this. You can place your problems, your question, your challenge into the hands of whoever you choose. God, Jesus, Allah, Mother Mary, deities, Ganesh. Place it on the altar of the divine, give it to your angels, give it to your spirit guides. You are not abdicating responsibility for your decisions. You are asking them to take it from you and to alchemize it and to show you the best way forward. I will often say, if I've got something that's bothering me, I will do one of two things. The first thing is I will say, I place this on the altar of the divine because you know better than me, and how could I possibly know the answers to this situation? I am open and curious and willing to be guided. And then I pay attention. That took me 10 seconds. So 10 seconds is how long it can take you to ask for guidance. The other thing I do is I have a funny little thing on my phone. I've got a little note keep thing, right? And inside that little note keeping app, I have what's called things for the universe to take care of. And anytime I have a problem or a challenge and I don't know how to answer it and I don't know what to do, I go into my phone and I say, thank you, loving universe, Thank you, God, Creator, Jesus, Mother Mary, everybody, Buddha. I call everybody. I'm like, can you please take care of this for me? Thank you, it is done. I close it, and I know this is now not my business. This is being taken care of. And this is what it is to live in faith. You don't have to ask 5 times. You don't have to, oh, did they hear me? They're not hearing me. They heard you just fine. Just relax and open and let the wisdom come to you. Okay? I'm going to share with you a couple of the messages that I love from A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is a psychological and spiritual development study program. Okay, it's non-denominational. It's very beautiful. It had a huge impact on my life. And I use these statements regularly to remind me to stay in alignment and to work with divine guidance. The first one I love, which is from very late inside A Course in Miracles in the workbook, is this. Be you in charge, for I would follow you, certain that your direction gives me peace. And I recite that as a mantra to myself over and over again to remind myself I'm not doing life alone. I'm supported by something greater that knows a direction for me that will bring me peace. Another lesson from A Course in Miracles that I love is I do not perceive my own best interests. We don't always know what is best for us. Sometimes we don't know which job is going to be best for me. Which person am I meant to marry? How am I going to heal this thing in my body? You don't perceive your own best interests. You don't know. You've got your mind telling you stuff. You've got your ego telling you stuff. You've got your fear telling you stuff. So what do? Place it on the altar of the divine. It's okay that I don't know. And to this point, I'll say this. Society trains you to think you have to know everything. And if you don't know, well, you must not be very smart. And it will stop you from opening up and saying to life, I don't know and it's okay. I think there's something in the Bible. I was raised Catholic, but I wasn't clearly very paying well enough attention in church. There's something in the Bible about come into your life like a little child with open mind and open heart. Because when you are open like that, you are reachable and teachable. When you think you have to know and you have to do it on your own, you'll shut down. Okay? Which leads me to the last thing that I'll share from A Course in Miracles, and that is this. Of myself, I can do nothing, but of Source, I can do everything. Insert for you whatever it is that you believe in and that supports you. Of my small self, little down here on my own, I can't do much. But of Source, with that divine guidance and that wisdom and that energy behind me, I can do everything. And these teachings, they just help us to honor this relationship that we have with something that is greater than us, that gives life to us. Okay, so way number 7. What is the 7th way that we can receive answers to our questions? It is to ask to be guided with signs, synchronicities, and symbolism. Life is so magical that it can send you repeating themes and signs. The right person shows up at the right time. Have you ever noticed that sometimes you get repeating themes of things showing up in your life? It's like little clues on your path. It's like a game, breadcrumbs on a trail. And it's like little messages divinely encoded into the 3D reality. I want you to remember life is one big living, breathing field of intelligence, underpinned by the wisdom that runs this whole reality. And it moves all people, all beings, all situations, and all energy. And it can place in your path in the most incredible ways answers to your questions. And this has happened multiple times to me. The reason I am in this career right now doing this is because I got signs and synchronicities that told me that this was the path for me. And I thought it was weird and wacky, and I was like, I don't really think that sounds very fun, and I'd rather just not do that, but seems like life is trying to guide me. So I'm just going to open the door a little bit and see what happens. And what happened was a magical carpet ride. What happened was a whole career unfolded, and lo and behold, here we are, 14 years later, doing something that lights me up, hopefully helps you. And this is what can happen when you ask for guidance and you're willing to trust. So I would love for you to pop a comment below the video and tell me, have you noticed the magic of signs and synchronicities? Have you noticed that it seems like life is talking to you through this language of symbology? So beautiful. And way number 8, as we bring things to a close, might be a little bit surprising. And that is this: just use your logic. Because often you already know, and you might call it logic, but it's your knowingness. You're very intelligent, and your mind is like a supercomputer. It's taken everything it's ever been exposed to, and it crunches it all, and it kind of knows where to go. Okay? So often we discount our knowing, our logic, because we just don't trust ourselves, and we want someone else to verify. We want source to verify, our soul to verify before we'll do something. And at the same time, what's really happening is we're just hiding from the truth of what we know and owning our path and having courage to walk in it. Okay? So I also want you to consider that if your soul lessons in life are about trusting yourself, then if you start asking for answers and you've already got the answer, you're probably going to get radio silence from life. Because life will be like, let's give them radio silence so they've got nowhere else to go but to start trusting themselves. Life is a funny old thing like that. Okay, so do you sometimes know the answer? Do you have questions right now that you actually know the answer to? And here you are watching a YouTube video trying to get answers through me or through these techniques that you already know. Be really honest with yourself. Now, you might be wondering, well, hey, Bernadette, I already asked my questions ages ago and I'm not getting anything. I just want to cover some challenges and how to overcome them. How do you stay open to getting guidance, this frequency I talked about being open, if you're fearful and you're full of doubt? And the question is, you hold both. You can open yourself up in a moment and have your heart open and trust and tell yourself that you're willing to trust in life while you gently talk with love to the scared part of yourself, to the part of yourself that doesn't want to open up. You can hold both. It's not going to stop divine guidance coming to you if you've got fear and you've got doubt. You just need to hold that part of yourself with love. You might wonder, how do I know if the answer's coming from my mind or actually it's spiritual guidance? And the answer is they feel a little differently energetically. It's very subtle, but when you start to get in tune with yourself and come within, you'll start to notice that your mind noise and fears feel a little bit different to inner knowing and intuition and divine guidance. So the more you come within and the more you start to play with trusting and opening up, you're going to start to notice these subtle differences. But I'm going to give you one thing you can do if you're really concerned. I don't know if it's fear. Is it my emotions? Is it my mind? Or is it truly intuition or spiritual guidance? Every morning for 7 days, write down what that intuition is that you think you've received, the answer that you think you've received. Write it down in your journal every single morning for 7 days and sit with it. How does it feel in your body? Does it feel open? Does it feel good? Does it feel right? If you test that out for 7 days in a row and every single day it feels good to you and every single day it feels right and it feels true to you, you can trust in that. Because here's the thing, intuition does not change its tune. It doesn't say one thing to you one day and then say something else to you the next day. Your mind, however, and your ego and your emotions are a little bit like waves on the surface of the ocean. The weather changes day to day. One day your mind's saying this and you're having these feelings, and the next day you're feeling something different. Your intuition is like the undercurrent in the ocean. It does not change its tune. So that's another way you can test that out. Another common challenge people have is they say, well, I've got the answer, but the answer is freaking me out because I'm afraid of what it means. It might mean I've got to leave my job. It might mean I've got to leave my relationship. It might mean I've just met someone and they want a date and I want a loving relationship, but I don't know if I'm ready and I'm freaking out. And the answer to this is it's a call to courage. It's a call to courage. And there's one thing you can do to support yourself to feel courage, and that is this. Courage, like everything, is a frequency. If you don't have much courage in you right now, go and place yourself with people who are courageous, because their frequency is energy. And you pick up on the energy of the people that you are around. If I put you in a room full of fearful, angry people, guess how you're going to feel when you come out of that room? You're going to feel a little upset and a little fearful. You pick up on the energy of the environment you're in. If you want courage, place yourself with courageous people. If you know people in your community, friends, family, anyone that you can place yourself close to, their courage will ignite the courage in you, because you have courage, because guess what? You are a soul and your soul is courageous. And we are just going to pop that open. It's like popping the cork on a champagne bottle, but you need to be in the frequency of it. If you don't have the frequency, place yourself with people that do, okay? You are very welcome to come and ignite your courage in my community, because I have a lot of it and I'm excited to share it with you. So you'll find links in the description. You can join my Soul Odyssey mentorship, or you can come on and join me for one-on-one coaching. I've got all the information there. You can find out more and see what resonates with you. Another little common challenge people have is, what if I'm hearing nothing and I've allowed plenty of time? I just want to remind you of one thing I said earlier. Sometimes silence is the answer. And if you get silence, I want you to ask, why would life be giving me silence? And what is the silence trying to reflect to me? Alternatively, if you want, you can ask a different kind of question. Reframe your question. What am I not seeing? Yeah. And if you still get silence, I'm going to propose to you from experience that you know what you need to do. Okay. And it's about having courage. Now, here is a really big challenge that people have, and they don't know how to make sense of this inside their mind. Why would loving divine guidance from God's source universe, or wherever it comes from, why would it lead me into something that is painful or difficult? Shouldn't it feel easy if it's coming from loving guidance? Okay, the answer is no, not always. Why? Because you are a soul here on the frontier of being human, and you are here to evolve, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. And if you are in a dissonant, misaligned relationship, or you are in a toxic workplace and you are not in your lane, then it's confronting to have to change, because you've got to say, well, I got to go into uncertainty. You don't have to leap. Find a new job before you leave the other one. But it's about saying that sometimes the loving wisdom you're getting given, it's going to ask you to be brave. It's going to ask you to be bold. It's going to ask you to trust. And that can be painful sometimes, because you've got to let go of things that aren't aligned for you now to go into something else. The last thing I'll mention as a common challenge that people have is they go, Bernadette, I think I got the answer that I was looking for. I got my divine guidance, but I'm confused the more I think about it. My answer to that is stop thinking about it, because your mind is not the job here. You're meant to be trusting in your intuition. Your mind knows nothing about this. If your mind had the answer, it would have given it to you ages ago, okay? Trust your instinct. Trust it and be willing to act upon it, even in just one small little step, okay? One small little step in the right direction. So you've got guidance coming into you now. How are you going to stay connected to it on a daily basis? I'm just going to give you a few little simple tips. I invite you to constantly, when you look in the mirror next time, tonight, you're brushing your teeth, tomorrow morning, putting on your makeup or getting dressed, look at yourself in the mirror and remind yourself who you really are and where you really come from. If you have a faith, religion, or spiritual base to your life, recognize what created you. Recognize that it is breathing you. It is making your entire body function, and you don't even have to do anything. That is the level of wisdom that's available to you. If you just remember it one time a day, that is enough to keep you in flow and to keep you connected. Okay, you can also do spiritual rituals, faith rituals, where you spend time just being in contemplation, giving thanks for the guidance and the wisdom that's here for you. Super simple little things that can help you just to actually live in a spiritual path, not just have the ideas or read books or watch videos, but make it an integrated part of your daily life. So let's wrap things up. If you found this helpful, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me what your biggest takeaway was. If you enjoyed the video and it was helpful, give it a like, subscribe to the channel for more. And I am really excited if you want to come through and work with me. Again, you'll find the Soul Odyssey mentorship program, one-on-one coaching details, everything links in description. I so appreciate you being here and the opportunity to share this with you. And I'm really looking forward to seeing you in the next video.